People ask me all the time, I need a 60 watt bulb. So this bulb says it's a 60 watt bulb, but in fact, if we're to look at this, it really isn't a 60 watt bulb. This bulb only uses 10 watts worth of energy. So it's a 10 watt bulb. And there's a lot of issues involved with that, if you will. Most fixtures, in fact all fixtures, on the fixture itself says a rating, a maximum rating for the light bulb. So that's a little confusing. That is energy consumption once again. So when you're shopping for LED light bulbs, or any light bulb for that matter, you want to look at lumens. We don't want to look at wattage anymore. Wattage is a measure, like I said, of consumption. One of the other things when looking at LED bulbs, when LEDs first came out, not only were they very expensive, they all were dimmable. And in order to bring the price down, technology has changed quite a bit. Some bulbs, like this one here by Cree, are dimmable. Some, like this one here by Philips, which is a great bulb. Both are great bulbs. This one's not dimmable. This bulb is slightly less money than this bulb, and that's why, because it's not dimmable. The other thing is lifespan. When LED bulbs first came out, they had this tremendous lifespan, 25 years, 50 years, whatever the case may be. Now, in order to bring the price down, some of these bulbs have a lesser lifespan. This bulb here, for example, by Philips, has a 10-year lifespan. And this bulb by Cree, I believe, has a 27-year lifespan. So quite a difference in price. But really, who's gonna know, right? So just an aside, light bulbs used to be measured, their lifespan, when we had incandescent bulbs. What they would do is they would take a fixed number of light bulbs, say 500 light bulbs or 1,000 light bulbs. They put them in a test environment, they would turn them all on, and when half of those light bulbs burnt out, that was the lifespan of the light bulb. Now, some of those light bulbs burnt out immediately. Some of those light bulbs would burn for quite some time. So I'm not quite sure how they determined that this is 27 years. There's probably a scientific formula behind it. But just the big thing to know about LED light bulbs, you want to look at the dimmability. If you need one that's dimmable, then you're going to need to purchase one that has that ability. If dimming isn't something that you need, go ahead and buy and save a few dollars. Okay, this is a 100 watt bulb or 100 watt equivalent, and this is a 60 watt equivalent. So this is 815 lumens and this is 1500 lumens. So again, if the dimming isn't a big deal, invest in these, spend a little less money on these. The other thing to look at is color. Okay, all light bulbs are measured in color temperature. This particular bulb is 2700 kelvins. That is going to be more on what they call the soft side. It's going to be closer to what we're used to as far as incandescent bulbs. And this bulb is called a daylight bulb. And as the name implies, it is made to simulate the spectrum of light that we would see in the daylight. This is a more pleasing, typically light to our eyes. We're accustomed to this because of all the years of incandescent bulbs. People will say, well, I want the brightest bulb. Isn't that the daylight? Well, no, that's not necessarily the case. Obviously here it's the case because this is a more lumens, but lumens for lumens, it doesn't matter the color rendering. Now our eyes are going to perceive the daylight light bulb as being brighter because that's the way we're wired. We're wired to be outside in the daylight. Incandescent bulbs have a color temperature which will be similar to candlelight. So kind of something that we've learned over the years, I suppose, or our brains have been trained to respond thinking that the soft white is natural light, but it's not. Daylight, if you're looking for what appears to be the brightest, and in my opinion is the most pleasing light, go this route. The lights that I'm under right now are daylight. You may see a little bluish tint to it. Some folks don't like that bluish tint, but you know, it's a better light in my opinion. Now, along with this different technology of bulbs and measuring bulbs in lumens, the federal government, like they like to do with everything, get involved. There's charts on all these now, lighting facts they call them. Tells you how many lumens, cost per watt, I think is what they're calling it. The other thing that's kind of a misleading, if you will, most of these lifespans, 27-year lifespan, based on 3 hours a day. Live in a northern climate like I do, your lights are on for a lot longer than 3 hours a day, so you can expect a shorter lifespan. But either way, if you're spending, I think this bulb was on sale for $7, and this bulb is somewhere in the $8 or $9 range. That's really not that much money to spend. So if you spend $9 for a light bulb, I know some of you out there like myself, we can think back to the days when Detroit Edison gave us light bulbs for free. We just took our burnt out ones there. I remember going downtown Pontiac with my mother to the Detroit Edison and paying the light bill and trading in the old light bulbs for new light bulbs. But that aside, if you look at, this is really an investment. So if this light bulb is going to cost you $1.20 a year, now again that's based on 3 hours a day, but say you burn it 6 hours a day, so you're burning it twice as long, it's only costing you $2.40 a year. That's quite a difference between burning this light bulb at 60 watts. So this is a 10 watt consumption, so that kind of gives you an indication. It's about 6 times more using an incandescent. So these bulbs are going to pay for themselves, even like I say, if this one only lasts 10 years, you use it for 10 years, you got your money out of it. These bulbs do come in different shapes, sizes. There are 3-way bulbs. That technology hasn't come as far as it could yet. Those are expensive as well. You can get these in floodlights, spotlights, for cans, for ceiling fans, recessed lights. So I'll do more videos on light bulbs, but this is just a brief introduction to LEDs. So hope you liked it, hope you learned something about light bulbs. I'm gonna have a few more videos where I go a little further in depth. Once again, please, if you could, subscribe to my channel, ask me questions below, have your friends and family ask me questions, have your friends and family subscribe. I really want to share the knowledge that I've gained over the 15 years in the home improvement industry with the rest of you out there. Once again, I appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video, and have a blessed day. See you later.